Good morning, afternoon, or night. Before diving into my presentation, I'm going to give you some background information about me in relation to the field of composition studies so that you can better understand where I'm coming from and how I plan on utilizing what I've learned in this course professionally. Currently, I teach high school English for the third year in a rather diverse district in the middle of Iowa. It is very diverse for the middle of Iowa. Previous to this job, I taught 7th and 8th grade writing in a small rural district in Iowa. Think everyone participates in Iowa State Fair, and mostly everyone has farm tours in the morning. It's because of my experience teaching so far and my current diverse makeup of students that I found myself drawn to the educational piece of the field of composition studies, where they focus on how to incorporate these ideas, both the traditional and the new and innovative, into my own classroom. This project is going to explore composition studies in relation to pedagogy, especially through the lens of incorporating digital tools such as social media into composition instruction. Throughout our reading for this course, I have noticed that the field of composition studies has found itself in a crossroads of sorts. It appears that many in the field aren't really sure where the field is heading and what parts of academia the field should prioritize. So, what does composition studies as a discipline value? In my opinion, there are two main ideas that this field values, but those two ideas can at times be at odds with one another. On one hand, composition studies wants to value and respect tradition that has already been established by professionals. On the other hand, many professionals in the field are embracing change and fluidity within their instruction. Before we dive even further, let's talk about what these traditional values are. What are they? Some traditional values that composition studies wants to hold on to are the process approach to writing, putting student needs over data when it comes to their instruction, and maintaining the value and supporting the academic journal. The process approach. Why is the process approach still important? Most classrooms in the United States, whether that be secondary or post secondary, even elementary, are still implementing the process approach when it comes to them teaching writing. This focuses on the process students are going through when it comes to their writing rather than just the final product. Many students are creating writing that's focused on the process approach to writing, creating rough drafts, peer editing, and revising their product throughout instruction. While many instructors are moving towards more of a socio-epistemic approach to writing, most instruction still utilizes the process approach. Many instructors and those in the composition field study are putting students' needs over data. No matter what processes that are used within composition studies, the individual needs of students are prioritized over data in most composition classrooms. This is not met without opposition, however, from those in the field, such as those who practice data over student need, like for example, the education intelligent complex. The composition field is torn between the value of the academic journal based on the readings we did in class. However, traditional composition studies value the academic journal and what it has to offer and contribute to the field. Hesse argues for this inclusion of journals, stating that they have a wide variety of benefits concerning higher education, like refining the peer and editing process, back to the process approach, having them work as gatekeepers of education, and only publishing the most refined journals, giving authors of journals time to reflect and polish their writing to the academic standard. While met with some opposition by more radical individuals in composition studies, the overall consensus is that the journal still holds value and should be utilized in the field. On the other side of composition studies, there are many instructors in the field that are trying to embrace fluidity and change in their instruction. They are doing this by embracing the funk, embracing the weird and unusual to motivate and engage students, adding technological advancements to their instructions, as well as incorporating more social justice learning, making them more of a community of learners than individual learners. By embracing the funk, many professionals involved in composition studies have asked those in the profession to reconsider what to teach and value in the field. Banks calls out his colleagues to embrace the funk, asking them to radicalize their instruction and push boundaries to challenge and help students grow academically and socially through their writing. Also, social justice learning has become more prominent in instruction. It has increasingly become a piece in composition studies. Collaboration has long been a pillar in the field, but instructors have started to ask students to apply their writing to real world connections, having them work with communities to see their writings and ideas in action. They're becoming more active learners there. Technology has been hitting a boom in the last decade, especially in regards to internet and social media, the various aspects of social media. Many instructors feel that students may not learn and comprehend information in the same way due to how they've grown up interacting with one another. A pattern I noticed when asking ourselves, what is composition studies, is that most aren't shying away from using technology, both in classrooms and the field, but many instructors struggle with complications that arise when incorporating new technology in their pedagogy. So, how do we find a balance between these, at times, feuding concepts of traditionalism and change? For this presentation, I'm going to focus on the technological aspect, specifically social media integration, to see how the field might balance changes to composition instruction while still respecting traditional pedagogy that has been proven to work with students. From my research on my annotated bibliography, I found that there were three common concerns or ideas regarding social media in composition studies. These commonalities were concerns brought up with incorporating social media into a writing classroom, brainstorms of potential solutions to these common concerns, and how to connect these new technological aspects, such as social media, into traditional composition classrooms with ease and purpose. There was a pattern when it came to those voicing concerns with teaching with social media. This pattern was found among both students and staff with those surveyed in the surveys I studied for my annotated bibliography. Students. The majority of students were concerned with their privacy. Many felt forced to participate in the class with either their own social media or one that they've created for academia. This concern stems off of the idea that younger students use social media in different ways than professors would. While instructors saw the academic and networking benefits of these platforms, for students, these were based on informal social interactions, so it makes sense why they would feel a little bit weird about interacting with their professors on the platform. Faculty was also concerned with privacy and maintaining established boundaries with faculty student relationships when integrating social media. Faculty had more concerns than students with the integration of social media compared to them. Faculty were also concerned about the ethical ramifications of using social media. These ethical concerns range from students posting inappropriate content that could potentially be affiliated with the university to using copyrighted material unknowingly. Ultimately, teacher faculty was unsure of who would be held liable for students' actions online and whether or not they would be held accountable or the university would. Overall, teachers wanted to try new things, such as social media, to engage and enrich their students' education, but found a lot of struggles integrating it into their content, creating meaningful assessments for students that could be matched or outshined their traditional material they had already established, as well as creating assignments that could be graded in a timely and organized manner. A lot of faculty found that if they were grading on a social media platform, what students were doing was getting buried rather quickly under other things they were posting on the platform. While teaching with social media has raised some concern among composition instructors, there are at least some solutions to these concerns. A lot of these solutions have to do with being aware of what you're teaching and the audience you're teaching. May expresses that within a composition classroom, there can often be generational socioeconomic gaps between students, which can limit their social media knowledge. When teaching with social media, not assuming what students know and teaching them how to use the desired platform throughout instruction prior to the final product has been proven to be helpful to ease some anxiety that comes with learning a new platform or learning a platform you already use socially in a professional or academic way. This teaching may also ease some concerns with the differing usage of social media between instructors and students. Having instructors ready to adapt their practices to both their students and social media norms is proven to be beneficial. Choice is also another option that has helped with a potential solution to these problems that have arisen from teaching social media or concerns. Providing students with choice is helpful in combating privacy issues with both instructors and students when it comes to incorporating social media. When given the choice on whether or not to publish or use their own social media, students are more likely to embrace the technology the professor wants them to use. This may also combat ethical concerns. Students are not necessarily required to post on social media, or if they are, they've been taught the skills to publish things responsibly online ahead of their final assessment using the technology. So, how do we combine traditional composition studies values with new and innovative concepts to the discipline, like social media integration, for example? For best results, traditional practices that have been established in composition studies should remain the priority of writing instruction. But instructors should also consider the evolution of technology students are using to write and respond to one another. Because of this, this technology should be utilized to enhance student interest and composition skills, but the root of their instruction should be in traditional pedagogy within composition studies that we know works and we know students respond well to. One way to blend the two is to value the process approach to writing while still giving the option of social media and multimodality products as a final outcome. Having students use skills they've known with innovative technology has been proven in numerous studies to elevate growth in their studies in the examples that I read over the social media integration within my annotated bibliography. Which brings me to my final point. Where do we find ourselves on this road in composition studies? I believe the best solution is integrating new concepts with established traditional composition pedagogy. Overall, technological tools in education are constantly evolving, and there isn't a way around them. Students want to use them, and students need to be taught how to use them in a responsible way. Younger generations are learning in different ways, and social media and other technological integration has been shown to elevate and enhance students' performance in their composition skills. Many instructors are up in the air when it comes to how to teach using social media, and concerns teaching with online platforms are warranted and just. The simple fact is that we don't know enough about these online platforms to completely comprehend the effects that posting online has on education. There's still a lot of work and research that needs to be done in this part of the field. With that said, by utilizing and continuing to prioritize digital trends within our composition pedagogy, we are moving forward in composition studies to help students understand themselves and the world around them through writing. Thank you for listening to my presentation over digital pedagogy within composition studies. I've listed the sites referred to in my presentation if you would like to explore this issue further. Thank you.